안녕하세요. 반갑습니다. Good morning and a big warm welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in and welcome to the Danfoss seminar, Engineering the Green Commercial Building of Tomorrow. My name is Jimmy Sell and I'm the head of the commercial section at the Embassy of Denmark to Korea. A warm thank you to Danfoss for inviting me to deliver this keynote for you this morning. Let me start by saying that my job is fairly straightforward, and that is to create business between Korea and Denmark. And I think if I could point to one area where business is free-flowing, that is within the green economy. But let's start with a benchmark. Why do we do this? What is the framework? Some of you might remember that 5 years ago, the whole world came together in the United Nations and pledged, saying that we will make sure that we will convert all our economies, so we will make sure that temperatures will not increase by more than 2 degrees by the 2100s. So where are we right now? Because this is the mission that all embassies across the world is working towards. Well, bad news is it doesn't look too good. With the current framework we have available right now and the current technology we have right now, we can see that we are moving into the dark green line, which is that our temperatures on this planet will increase with around 3 to 3.5 degrees. Right now, we are also starting to see that some countries are not living up to the pledges that they have made. They're not transitioning fast enough, which means that we'll start moving into the dark purple line, which is obviously not good. If you ask the scientific community what will happen, then they'll say that we will have irreversible change if we don't make sure that temperatures stay below 2 degrees. So the role Denmark has as a green climate frontier is to try to convince the EU and the rest of the world to make sure that we actually transition our economies and make sure we stay below the 1.5 degrees pathway. That is obviously not an easy thing to do. Some might say that, hey, we're actually on the right track with COVID-19 happening this year. You know, we've been letting out way fewer emissions than we used to do. And that's also true. But we need to have a COVID-19 happening every single year from now and until 2030 to make sure that we stay on the right path. And to be honest, I don't think that's the economically viable solution. So, what is Denmark's role in this? What is it that we do? Well, we try to showcase our technologies to make sure that the world can engage and we can cooperate together on some of these technologies. And we have the track record to back it up. If you look at the numbers, well, in 1990, since then, we managed from the Danish side to grow our economy by 60%. But at the same time, we've been lowering our carbon emissions by 40%, which means that we actually decoupled economic growth and our emissions of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. This is obviously not something that is easy. We still have ambitions and we would like to take it even further. So our plan, our strategy is to make sure that we reduce carbon emissions by a total of 70% before 2030. So that's increasing more than we've already done. How do we do that? Well, when it comes to our energy supply, we will have 100% renewable energy in Denmark by 2028. We'll do this by creating artificial wind energy islands somewhere between Sweden and Germany, where we will create much more wind energy than we currently have today. We will actually produce more wind energy than we can consume, which means we need to convert it. That being the power to X technology or the hydrogen technology, where we take the green wind energy and convert it into a transportable fuel that can be used to power our engines and boats and cars, etc. In addition, we'll also even further decrease our energy consumption by 30% by 2030. So how do we do this? One government can't do this alone, and that's why we're asking the Danish business community for help. Last year, we initiated 13 different green partnerships all across different industries within transport, food production, energy-intensive industries, and we asked them, what can the Danish government do to actually make sure that we reduce our carbon emissions, but we also create more workplaces? Needless to say, Danfoss played a big part in many of these working groups. And what they did is that they actually told the Danish government, you need to do A, B, and C in actually to decrease while also creating new jobs. So why is Danfoss able to do that? And I think Danfoss is able to do that, one, because it's a trusted advisor to the Danish government when it comes to how to navigate the private sector. And another thing is they are actually leading the walk by talking the right solutions. I think it's enormously ambitious of Danfoss to say that they would like to go completely carbon neutral by 2030. And having more than 50 factories around the world, I think that's a very impressive ambition. Danfoss can really back it up, and I think also if you look at to how strong the company is performing here in Asia, I think the numbers speaks for themselves. I would like to point to your attention to projects where I can really see that if we can look into these projects and potentially spread this technology out even further, we can really make sure that we stay on 2 degree or even 1.5 degree pathway. Look at the Cable Bay Tower in Singapore. Just by installing Danfoss driver technology, Danfoss was able to reduce energy or to increase energy savings by 45%. Just imagine what this would have of applications to the rest of the world if we start implementing this technology in our communities, in our cities, in our societies. If you look at even a project here in our own Korea, look at the Lotte Tower, where also the Danfoss drive technology managed to save a little bit more than 5,000 megawatts of energy every single year. That roughly translates to 2,345 tons of carbon emissions that is not released into the atmosphere every single year. So in sum, I think many people will say that, okay, Denmark, you are planning to decrease your carbon emissions by 70%. That's quite an impressive statement. Yes, but we also have the track record to back it up. Denmark has, if you look at the numbers, 20 years ago, Denmark sourced more than 90% of our energy from coal. Today, we generate between 70 and 80% of our energy from wind. So I think we have the historic experience to back it up. I don't see why a 70% target should not be realistic. Then some people will say, okay, Denmark, but you're only responsible for 0.1% of carbon emissions on this planet. And I say, that's fine. We're very proud of that actually. But what we like to do is to make sure that the technology we have, that it gets out there in the world and it lives on. Because by working together with international partners and maximizing on this technology, then we can really have an impact. So I think that's one of my reasons to recommend you today to closely work together with Danfoss. They have the latest technology that has a proven track record in Denmark as well as the rest of the world. Danfoss has been a close cooperation partner to the Danish government for many years, and for the Danish embassy here in Korea, we've been working with Danfoss on many projects, and I will be very happy to provide them with my strongest of recommendations. In sum, I wish you all a fantastic seminar and a heartfelt thank you for the role that you're playing creating a more sustainable future. You are the ones who have the solution that will make sure that we can engage in a more climate-friendly future. And I thank you all for your continuous cooperation. Thank you. Kamsahamnida. Enjoy the seminar.